Hello guys, Merlin on the mic, yet with another Martial D Deeds aka Blackbeard video. Today we will analyze 3 matches, 2 against Blue Doffy and 1 against Black-Yellow Luffy. This is my deck list. We have also analyzed this deck list and talked about it in another video. If you haven't seen this video, go check it. And without any further ado, let's go to the gameplay. So this is the first one, and as you can see, the Doffy player starts, he goes first, and he plays his Perona. The fact that he plays his Perona means that he has sorted out his hands, so we don't want him to play like a Jimby into something else. So in our turn, we immediately KO his Perona, and we also black hole him by ditching this Vasco. So he's black hole now, he has a new target, his target is our dog queue, and at least we get to draw a card from our dog queue and we don't lose a life. And as you can see, he sorted out Perona as the top deck or the top card in his deck, and we are lucky enough that we have black holed him. So remember guys, if you play against a Doffy and he goes first and he plays like a Perona or a Buggy and he sorts out his top 3 cards on deck, black hole him before you get Jimbied into something else. So now in our turn, as you can see, we don't have many options here. We are at 4 dawn. We first attack his Jimby to grab a card of his, and then we just black hole this Jimby. We want to clear his board. The only thing that we could do else here would be, for example, to play Lafitte, search something, and then attack this Jimby with a 7k swing. But I have done this in many games, and let me tell you that he will counter that. He will counter that, and you will lose your tempo, because then he will play another character, and then you will have to deal with 2 characters. And the fact that we don't have a dog queue in our field means that we can most likely only KO 1 body at a time, and we will not have enough turn to KO the second body. We black hole him again, and on our second game I'm going through another tactic against the Doffy, so you will see both of these tactics with black holes and without black holes, and you can check out and see which one suits your playstyle better. So he swings here for 7k blind. He uses his ability blind, and he plays a low, or excuse me, no, that's no blind ability because he uses his Perona. So remember guys, if this Doffy guys knows what he's doing, he will sort out the first 3 cards. So for the first 3 rounds he knows exactly what he has there. When he uses his leader ability, it is because he has sorted out a card that he can play, or he can cheat out this card with his leader's ability. So he attacks us, we take, it's a dog queue, and he plays for free alone. And with the remaining dawn he plays a Martial Deeds, which is also a pretty annoying card if you ask me. Now we are at 6 dawn. We first play our Lafitte and we search. We want to find something that can help us clear out the board a little bit and be able to answer this Doffy. What we do here is we don't, and this is exactly what I'm talking about guys. So I kept this time my black hole, and I was like, okay, you know what, you don't have many bodies on the field, I will attach 4 dawns to my leader and I will attack you with 9k, so you will have to give me 3 cards. And this is what he does here. This is what this Doffy player does here, because he's like, okay, I need somehow to build a board here so that I can build more pressure to this Blackbeard. And this is exactly what he's doing here. He ditches 3 cards in order to save this low. Then he uses his Blackbeard to attack my Lafitte. Of course I will not save this Lafitte, and now he has two attacks, two remaining attacks, one with his leader, one with his low. First he attacks with his low, and we are lucky here, we get to draw a C-gun, and with our C-gun we KO his low, and with the second hit that we take we get a 2k, and then he plays a Mihawk. He's low on cards in his hand, and this is the only thing that can save us here, because when you play against Doffy, if he has many cards in his hand, God bless you, it's really hard to do anything about it, because he will flood the board with bodies. So what we want to do here, we are still not at our 10 dawn, we are at our 8 dawn, so we need one more turn in order to be able to drop our Blackbeard. So what we do here is we use our Van Agur, we reduce this Mihawk, we use our Doku, we KO this Mihawk, and then we attach one turn to our leader, and we KO this Stitch. So we are now at the point that we have control of the board. He has 2 cards left. I black hole him again, I black hole him the whole game, from the very first moment, from the first turn of his, and he was not able to play any on-play effects until now. So we black hole him, and he was like, okay, you know what, I need somehow to kill your board, and he attacks us with 9k to our Van Agur. He wants to KO the card that reduces his characters, and then he plays blindly a buggy, and then he uses also his remaining dawn to play a Trafalgar Law, without effect of course. First we black hole him because we get to draw a card that we don't need, and this is great because we're not thinking, oh my god, why do I have to trust this card? It's a card that we either get the trigger out of it, or we just trust it, or we just recycle it with states. So we black hole him, like I said, and then it is time for our Marshall D. It's 10 cost, because we have control of the board. He has only one character, and we need to start somehow killing his life, or taking his life as well. He attaches almost all of his dawn to his character, so he just leaves one remaining dawn, just to live, to do blindly again his leader ability and try to cheat out another card for free. And he's like, okay, 14k, will you give me 2 cards here, or just take a life? And the thing is here that as you can see, the first card on his deck, the top card on his deck is a Perona, and this is lucky of us. So we do take this card. We don't want to trust all of our hand, because we're still healthy here. We are still at 1 life, and we don't care if he has a perfume, because we have 1 life. His only character on the field is freezed. We're good to go. So then we attack his leader again with 5. I was like, okay, will you give me a card, or will you take a life and try to find some more resources? Of course he takes the life here. He needs some more resources. I attack him with my Blackbeard again. He takes life. He's at last at 2 life. He has now some cards on his hand, but he can't do much about it. So I place my second 10 cost Blackbeard here on the field. I black hole him again because I don't want anything to that he plays anything that can harm me, and he does exactly the same thing. 14k. He cheats out a free character, a free Mihawk with his leader's ability. I was like, okay, you know what? I will not give you this one. So I counter with my Blackbeard, and I use both of my 2Ks, but now it's like I either go for game like 2 times 12 and then 15k. Let's see if this would be possible. For example, 1 2 3 4 5 6 cards plus 2, 8 cards, and this is exactly the point. You know what, Doffy has also many 2k counters, and I was like, okay, let's play it safe here because we can play it safe here. So what I do here is I play my Laboon, I KO his law, and then I use my black hole, I KO his whole board. Then with the 2 remaining dons I attack his leader. He counters that, of course, and by using 3 cards, and then I use one of my TCGs to take his second life. Now he's at 1 life, we have a blocker, an active blocker, we have 1 life, we don't really care what he does here. I didn't even care about him doing his own play effects here because he doesn't play any Rush character. So I was like, okay, go ahead, do your own play abilities. Everything that you will play will be played from the own play abilities, will be played, rested anyway. So I'm not afraid here. He attacks my Laboon with 9k. Of course, we we block that, and then it's GG because no matter what he has, we have 2 TCGs, we have a Laboon, we have our leader and Tendon, we have a remaining life, and he is only at 1 life with a rested blocker. There is no way that he could do something. And as you can see here, he has 1 2 3 4 2Ks, and before that he has also ditched I think 2 or 3 more. So and in his life he has another card with counter, so it's not safe to go for game in such a situation. If you have time and you have the resources and the means, keep clearing the board, guys. Keep clearing the board and just go for game when you're ready, when you want to do it and it is safe to do it. So let's go to the second game. Another Doffy player here. He chooses to go first. He uses his Perona. That means that for the 3 remaining for the 3 next turns, he knows what he has in his top deck and he can cheat it out immediately. We play our Lafitte. And we search and we grab a Dock-Q here, and this is of course the point that we black hole him. We don't want him to cheat out a Jimpy, and the Jimpy brings out something else. What he plays here is a Teach, and then he uses the remaining Dawn to attack us. Of course he uses also Teach's main ability. So just look at this combo. This is on his second turn. He has 3 bodies. And if we were no Blackbeard, he would have here 4 bodies with only 3 done. This is how crazy this leader is. And this is exactly why we use here the black hole, why we ditch the card. We need to ditch the card if he plays a Perona and he sorts out his top life. Luckily for us, we hit a trigger, we hit this Sky Slicer. This is a great card. This is such a great card. We get to draw 2 cards plus 1 card from the draw. Look how many cards we have here, guys. And this is what I mean. This is what I mean with the freaking Doffy players. So I attached here 2 Dons, and I was like, okay, you know what? I will KO your Jimpy and I will KO your Dock-Q with my I will KO your Perona, excuse me, with my Dock-Q. And look that. So I decide to attach 2 Dons and swing him for 7, and he counters that. He counters that because he knows he has to somehow keep poking me, keep attacking me with his characters. So I was like, okay, you know what, I will use my docu, I will KO at least your Perona and give you another target, because I really don't want to go to 1 or 0 life at that point. No, it's still too early for me. So at least we have many cards because of our trigger and because of our docu. So he kills our docu with his teats, and then he attacks us with his Doflamingo. And as you could see, I didn't use my leader ability on my last turn, because I was like, okay, this is the last card of this that you know what you have sorted out, because you used Perona only once. And I will try this game to keep my cards, to see what can be done if I keep here my cards, and only if you sort out your first cards, I will black hole you, or if I have to, or if I know that you have many cards and you can do something tricky with your own play effects. So he uses his leader ability, he cheats out Emoria, and then he grabs a Trafalgar Law from his trash, and then he attacks me with his Jimby. I'm now down to 3 life, but I have many cards, at least that. So we KO with Black Hole his Kekomoria, and then we attach the remaining Don to our teats, and we hit his Jimby, and he ditches again 2 of his cards. And we're like, okay, you know what, you keep doing that, but you have only 1 card. I won't black hole you. I won't black hole you if you have only 1 or 2 cards in your hand. So be my guest, try to blindly keep cheating out cards from your deck. And this is exactly what he does. This time he gets a teats, another teats, and of course I counter that. I don't want to go down to 1 life yet, and I have the cards to counter that. Then he plays a low, but he doesn't have anything to bounce back from my side, and he is again at this point down to 1 card again. Then he hits me with his Jimby with 5k, because he doesn't have any dons left. I'm still healthy at 3 life, as you can see, and I still have 5 cards in my hand. He's at only 1 card in his hand. So I was like, okay, let's see what we can do here. You have only 1 card, you can't defend your Jimby now. Your Jimby is mine. And I'm killing his Jimby. I establish a Jesus Burgess, I establish a Vasco. I don't black hole him. I was like, okay, do whatever you want. I will keep my cards, because I need my cards at this point. I will try in this game. I was like, in this game I will try to beat you without my leader's ability. Like I said, leader's ability in this particular game for testing purposes only on the first Perona sorting, and not on the rest of the game. As you can see, I created the second videos, or I recorded the second video for you to see how smoothly it is when you use your black hole in every turn, and how messy, or not messy, how hard it can be if you let him do the on-play effects that he has, because he has some nasty effects, like the low that bounces back, like Jimby, like Weevil that draws a card, like almost every card of his. So now he hits us again. We get a trigger, we get a shockwave. I love this card, guys. I love this card, because believe me, you can use this card as trigger, and you can also use this card as counter. I have done it many times. I really love this card in this deck. So we get to KO 1 of his characters for free, and we get to live another turn. So we are now at our 10 turn, so we can play at least our big scary baddies here. So I was like, okay, you know what, I will kill your remaining character. I will try to get your last card or 1 life. Of course, we get a life here. And then we nullify and we freeze his law. And at that point I was like, okay, do I want to black hole you? And I was like, okay, yes, at this point I want to black hole you because I have my tits and I don't want you to do anything tricky now. And as you can see, he played 2 cards. He played 2 cards with on-play effects, and this is exactly the reason why you need to black hole him the whole time. And that's a tricky part of when you play against Doffy, because you need somehow to manage your resources, to try and keep as many cards as possible in your hand, to try and keep the board cleared for as long as you can, because it can get messy, pretty messy. So let's go. Let's move on here. Now he did that, but he does not have any other cards. So he attaches here 5 dons to his tits. He taxes for 8. Of course we take, we can't do anything else. And this is also a pivotal turn. This is a pivotal turn because he has no cards. He can't defend his characters. So what we do here is we kill his 2 rested characters, and we keep chaining Blackbeards. So we say, okay, we will freeze you, Jesu. You do have 3 characters, but this is it. And I was like, okay, you know what? I have 3 cards and a Seagun. You don't have any cards in your hand. I was like, okay, I will keep my cards at that point. And I didn't black hole him here, because he should have been really lucky here, for example, to hit a Jimby, and from this Jimby to cheat out the card from his hand. But he hits a Mihawk. That's another body, that's another body. And he hits us for 14k, but the fact that we didn't hit many cards beforehand, we have the counter for that. We do have the counter for that. So remember, guys, when Doffy does that, he always leaves 1 ton out for his leader's ability. That means that he will always attack you for 14k. And you need, if you have a Blackbeard, a 10 cost beard on the field, you need to have 3k counter. Remember that. So he does that, and of course he can't do anything else, and he passes turn because I have my Blackbeard, my other Blackbeard. And now we are at the point where he's at 4 life, so we can't go for game. Can't go for game because we are 1 life short here, right? So it's like, if we can't go for game, first I will try to get some life out of you, and he counters my first hit. He does counter my first hit here, and I was like, okay, now it is either clearing 2 bodies with this 4 and 4 cost and then play the blocker, or I kill it with Jesus my Mihawk. I was like, okay, now I need to think carefully, and I wanted to get him down, because if I didn't get him down, I would never have a chance, even a slight one, to get a game. So I hit him once, I KO 2 bodies with my cards, and I establish a smaller block. The first hit is from Josu to my leader with 7k. Of course, we don't let by no means this hit us. And now if he attaches all of his dons to one character, what do we have here? We have our Vasco. We have a Vasco who can take the hit instead of our 10 cost Tits. What he does here is he plays Josu, because we didn't black hole him, we didn't have any cards, right? And he bounces back our Jesus. I was like, Jesus, man, why do you do that? And then he attacks us with 8k to my leader, which which we block here, if I remember correctly. No, yes, exactly. He used also his leader's ability. Play the low, bounce back my blocker, so I had to block that using my Tits here. There was no other option, right? And then he attacks me with his remaining character, but with 5k, and of course we block that. Of course we block that. Then on the next turn we draw, and this is my 8, and we get to draw a liberation. We get to draw here a liberation. With the liberation we kill this Tits, and with the remaining Don we leave only 2 Dons left. With 8 Don we attack him, then we establish, then we hit him again with 1 Blackbeard, if I remember correctly, because we want him to be at 1 life. Of course here we will take, and then I was like, either black hole or establish a second blocker. I was like, okay, you know what? I don't want any tricks. I just want to finish this game. So I leave 1 Blackbeard active. I let him have the second Blackbeard by hitting him with his Josu. He plays a Boa Hancock, and then he attacks my leader. Of course I block that, and the top deck here is crazy. We hit a Seagun, and with the Seagun, of course, we kill this Boa Hancock. We attack him with the remaining Dons. I think it's 11k exactly. He takes, and then we finish him off with our huge finisher, Marshall D. Tits. So this top deck was crazy. Was crazy, guys. But the reason why I recorded that particular game was to show you the difference between a game where you use your leader's ability and the game where you don't. If you don't use your leader's ability, you need to be really lucky, like I was here, to win a game against a good Doffy player. If the Doffy player is a new player or is not that skilled, you might have a chance only even if you don't use your leader's ability. But watch the first game again, watch the second game, and see the difference. If you ask me, in my humble opinion, you need to black hole him the whole time. So this is it with the Doffy players. Let's see a last game against the Black-Yellow Luffy. So the Black-Yellow Luffy chose to go first. He used Flambe. He takes life. I establish a docu, but I don't care about his flambe. Then he plays a Makino, he attacks me. I take the first life, of course, and I establish a Laboon. I was like, okay, I will just keep building my board here. Then he uses another flambe here. He aggressively takes his life here, because of course he knows that if we reach our 10 tons, he's dead. He is dead. Why? Because we nullify his leader's ability with our monster muscle defeat 10. So he buffs himself here, he KOs our Laboon, he's doing all these crazy things, then he does his leader's ability, he gains 2 life, he attacks us with 9k, of course we take here. And he's laughing in his corner. He's like, okay, you know what, I have now, let's see, 8 cards in my hand. I have a leader, a 7-cost leader. I still have two life faced up, and I can also call these 2 guys by using my babies. So the Zabo baby and the Luffy baby. I was like, okay, dude, calm down, you need to calm down. So Lafitte, we play Lafitte here, we keep searching, and we are chilling. We're chilling because the game is not done yet. You know what I mean. We play our Lafitte, but we don't search with Lafitte. We don't search our Lafitte because we are at 6 ton currently. What we do here is to establish a board. We want to establish a board. What he does here is he plays Zabo, then he KOs our Lafitte with the on play here. Yeah, that was a mistake. I need to admit that was a mistake, because I really didn't think that he will do it to trust his Luffy, but he did. And I should have black-holed him now for this turn. I didn't, and I lose my Lafitte. Fair enough. I accept that. So he plays his Sabo, 2 don on his leader, then he attaches 2 new characters there, he plays 1 baby Luffy, he buffs his character to 9k, he's such a big guy now, with like 9k leader and such, and he even has 1 life left, and he's like, okay, now I got you. But no. What we don't like here is, of course, this Monkey D. Luffy. We hate Monkey D. Luffy. Why, guys? Because this card can get his last life for free, buff himself, and do all these nasty things. And then the leader buffs himself again, and so on and so on. So what we do here is, of course, we play Vanagure. We use our other Vanagure and our docu to KO this Luffy. We get to play our Vasco, and with the remaining with the remaining dons, I was like, okay, I don't need to play my Lafitte here, because our next turn is our Marshall D. Dit's turn. So I will keep my Lafitte as counter, you know, and I will just use a blocker here, my MVP Vasco. He uses here his Sabo. He makes all of his characters immune here, and he attacks my Vanagure. Yeah, this was also a point where I should have black-hole him. Note taken. You're right. And don't do this mistake. I did it twice in this game, but it was no fatal mistake. So then he attacks with his Garb our docu. I will let him have him. we get to draw a card anyway, and then he plays another blocker, a Nami blocker, and we are now at Tendon. We are now at Tendon, we have a blocker, we have to Van Agur. His characters other than Nami cannot be KO'd from effects. I was like, okay, you know what? I will first see what you will do if I attack you with my Van Agur 6k. Because he has only 5 cards. He did all of that, but he has only 5 cards. So he lets his blocker go because he knows that this block is not protected from his Sabo. Then I attack him again with my Vasco. So he's like, okay, now the big tits is coming. He counters the second hit, and of course, the big tits is coming here. And the final hit is again with my leader. He counters that also, and this is the time, of course, that we black hole him. At last, we black hole him. And we have what we have in our hand. We have a C gun in our hand. We have 2 life, we have 2 blockers. One of them we don't give a damn. Vasco. And of course, he did counter the last hit because he has a Luffy and he can get his Monkey D. Luffy for free. So he plays his Monkey D. Luffy, he grabs his last life, he buffs this character, and he puts 2 life, a Sabo and a Luffy, and another Sabo, but the on-play effect from Sabo does not get activated. What does that mean, guys? That means that his characters are not protected from KO effects, right? Right. And he has only 1 card left. So for him, in order to do that, he sacrificed all of his cards. So he hits us with 6k, we don't care at all. We counter that, of course we counter that. And then he passes turn. And now he has only 1 card. You can do the math. I did the math there. And I was like, okay. Eat your Sigan in your face. -1 blocker. Now you have only 1 blocker, 1 card, 1 life. It's GG. Because 9k to your leader, again 9k to your leader. Even if he somehow managed to survive this turn, there was no way to survive the next one. But this is how you play against Black-Yellow. Also take note of the 2 black holes that I didn't do that, guys, or also don't if you don't really care about these KO effects. I mean, it's totally your choice, your playstyle. I'm showing you here my playstyle. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned something from it, that you got something from it, especially from the 2 different playstyles in the Doffy matches. Because like I said, the first one I black hole him the whole time, and you saw how smoothly it went. But on the second one, without the black holes, it's a horror. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. Everything is your choice. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Hit this like button, write me down in the comment section below what you think about this deck list, what you think about this playstyle, what do you think about the first playstyle, or what do you think about the second playstyle, or what do you think about playing against Black-Yellow Luffy. Maybe you have some other tips for that matchup. Anyhow, thank you very much again. Peace, guys.